Hi, we are getting ready to go live. Yes, I'm here again. So soon. So soon. Thank you for showing up, showing out. I do appreciate you taking a little time with me. Oh gosh, you guys. Whew, this has been a wonderful experience. Come here. You want to say hi? Miss Thing wants to say hi. Okay, let me get her. Miss Thing wants to say hi. She wants to sew. She has her things that she wants to say. What do you want to say? You want to say amen, amen, mama, to everything that I say. So I am so happy to be able to come on today. I spent the all morning in conferences, and I am pretty truly inspired to be my best and be organic and be um, really authentic with you guys. Thank you for showing up, comment on, showing yourself faithful to my channel. I do appreciate it. I don't even know what to say. I'm just very grateful and thankful that you can be a part of my journey, and that if I can say anything that's helpful from just having what I have been blessed to have, I would like to share that with you all. And I would like to love on you guys and thank you so immensely. It is a beautiful time to be creative, to be a creative, to be able to touch people in many ways. And this is what I hope I am able to offer you, and for you to know the ins and outs. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am an entrepreneur. I have a small e-commerce, and I also I do hair. But with all that, I also coach and I do networking forums. And I am very tapped into what is going on with our lives in the aspect of the 3D form, and also the spiritual thing, the form. And a lot of times when I am looking in the spectrum of my life, I sometimes often, think about it. It's like, do many people think the way I sometimes think? Like, can I do more? Can I be more for others? What can I do to really make a difference in this collective world in which we live in? And I chose to use my voice. I chose that to try to be more consistent about how I convey love, and how do I convey the intricacies of the human experience. Because the human experience is different with us all. We all have different things that we have to conquer. And as you know, last year, we all did, some of us all did. I've had some people reach out to me, and we did the Noni fast. And the Noni fast was an anti man, it was pro choice. Right? A pro choice of how we want to see our lives. I know a lot of times when you go into the world, you're doing a taste choice. You're getting a little taste of this, a little taste of that, and seeing if you really like it. And um one of the major reasons I began to do, and this is just me being, just keeping it real. Here I am a spiritual human being. I am aware of where I am at spiritually. I was looking to meet someone that was aligned. Not, they didn't have to be just like me, but I wanted them to be aligned with me on a spiritual level, because I am tapped in to my spirit, and I do care about the world. And so I was dating for several years. And I was dating one guy that was just really, really nice, and we had a really good connection. But the more I got to know him, and this is a Scorpio thing, the more I got to know him, the more I started realizing that his values were not aligned with me. And so it's really hard when you choose to literally, when we choose to be mature. That's the best way to say. When we say, I'm gonna be a grown up now, and I'm gonna literally live that, let that be my anthem, let that be who I am. And so I was seeing him, we had been seeing each other for about 2.5 years, and I made a conscious choice because he asked me to marry him. And when I was doing the list, and the list had nothing to do with financial or anything, it had to do, was he aligned with me on a energetic spiritual forum. And the more I started listening to my voice, my internal voice, I started realizing he wasn't the person. But the big mistake that I made when I did this is because I was living through the new me, I mean, not the new me, but the old me. And I had this pattern that every time I would get into a relationship, the moment I'm ready to shut that relationship down, the first thing I would do is I would replace him with another man. And I have been doing this since I was 16. It was just part of my MO. And I didn't think anything was wrong with it. In fact, I was proud of that. I was very proud of that aspect of myself. But then um, we are constantly doing a reset. We're constantly changing as human beings. And I began to start looking internally, was that good for me, or what was I hiding from, or what was I because I know when the last relationship that I was in, when he asked me to marry him and I said I couldn't marry him, he thought I was afraid of relationships. And it wasn't. I don't, and when he said that, I had to sit and think about it. I had to really look at, okay, am I really afraid to connect? And I started realizing, no, I'm not afraid to connect because I connect very easily. It's just, will you make it to the end? Or will I make it to the end with you? So as I begin to really start doing a scan about my self-love, I begin to understand a little something that I thought I could pass on to my audience. And the one thing that I was noticing is that I always seem to start out really well with someone of the opposite sex. I would start out really well, but then I would be disenchanted. And I started realizing the reason I was disenchanted because I never really gave myself an opportunity to be gorgeous. No, no, no. Gorgeous. No, no, no. No barking. No barking. I was not giving myself space to be able to truly know what I truly wanted because I never got the other people that I was dating out of my world. They were always kind of sort of in my world. But when I told everyone last year, let's do a noni fast, that noni fast was literally to remove the attachments of relationships. And I don't care, they can be attachments of friendships, they can be attachments of love relationships, they can be attachments of family. And what you're doing is you're cutting those attachments so you can be free to actually, on a piece of paper, articulate what you truly, really want and how you see your life as you live it on a day-to-day basis. Because every day that you make a choice to live this grand life, you're making a choice to levy up. You have a choice to levy up, to stay the same, or to go backwards. I choose to levy up. So I said, like, how can I do this? Like, how can I? Because after I got out of that relationship, I went into a relationship that I just really felt this deep emotion with. But that is Scorpio. Scorpio will feel a deep emotion because Scorpios like to dive deep. But as I started realizing, was he everything that I felt that I needed, that I thought that I wanted? And then when I started realizing in this tapestry of how we meet people, that when we're meeting people, we're actually doing Groundhog Day. Think about it like this: every person that you meet, you will find something in that person that has a common thread to another person. It is so interesting because I really believe that we are in assimilation. Because how could it not be that you can meet someone? It could be a friend, a relationship, it could be any, they have some common thread. And why do they have some common thread? Because you're learning lessons on a regular basis. You're learning lessons about you. You're learning lessons about, it's not about per se the people in your life that you're learning lessons. You're, those people that are coming into your life are showing you lessons about yourself. And when you start wilding out and really paying attention, OM freaking G, you start realizing the patterns that you have done over and over and over again. So, what did we do when we did the Noni fast? We cut all cords, we begin to meditate, we begin to abstain from, and for me, I abstain from everything. Any, no guy could talk to me, no one on a romantic level. I didn't even want to hear their voice because it would just get me sick to my stomach. Right. And so what I started doing is I start really diving deep into what I truly needed without friends, families, and relationships. Because once you remove all that, because the whole reason of our existence is because friends, family, and relationships. That is the archetype of the human experience. But what happens when you take the human experience away? And this is what Scorpios call on many occasions is what are they doing? They literally go into the hermit mode. What is the hermit mode? Is to take away all contact of human existence for me. That's for me. That's what I do. Like, no contact, no influence. The only influence that I have is my mantras, my lifestyle, my aloneness, my journal, my time with myself. So it was during this time I started realizing, and when you start realizing the power of you, the power of how important your power is, especially, especially if you're feminine energy. Because to know thyself as feminine energy, you are literally empowering yourself. You are leveling up your consciousness. You are creating an environment that cleans out, like literally, you think you're being rejected by a guy because he doesn't like you. No, you're being rejected by a man because you are elevated, and your vibration is so high that it makes them nervous. And a lot of times, if you're in the spiritual community, that is the most, how can I say it, loneliest community that you can ever be in, because you're not taking any crap from anyone. You can read bull blank a mile away. And so it's so funny because when I was at this conference, I was actually talking to a divine feminine. And one thing that she said, I just don't have time for people that will drain my energy with words that don't mean a thing. And I remember when she said that, I just kind of sat back and I thought about that. And it is so true. We spend so much time listening to a person's words and don't spend a lot of time looking at their actions, because actions speak louder than words. And let me say that again. Actions speak louder than words. It doesn't matter what people say to you. It matters what they show you. And so when a person shows you, I remember I had a lady reach out to me that had been in a very violent situation. When a man is showing you violence in a relationship, that is who he is. When a man is verbally abusive and discounting you as a feminine energy, that's who he is. He can't help but to be that, because he needs to feel validated in his own impotence, to feel like a big person. But if you carry yourself with the knowledge of I am enough, I am enough, most extraordinary things will happen. And you will start moving in a different way. And you're not moved by a person's words, but you're moved by their vibration. Because this leveling up that we're going through right now in our collective, it's so interesting. This is, I don't mean to get off point, but this is a good analogy. Sometimes my dog will look at me and I can actually know what she's trying to tell me. And we're going into a world that your mind needs to be clear, because you're going to be able to read people's thoughts. And that's a frightful thing, because not everybody's thoughts are pure. Not everybody's thoughts are wholesome. And so when you get to that place that you're literally feeling and hearing the unspoken, it puts you in a peculiar way, because of the fact people will not feel comfortable around you. Why? Because you see them. Why? That's what Scriptures do all the time. They see, they don't see what you're showing them outwardly. They see what you're showing them by your actions. And if your actions don't meet what you're saying, you're diagnosed from the doctor of love, which is the Scorpio. You're lying. Straight up, just lying. So as we come into this new world, this new collective where connection will be, we're just talking about this today, connection will be the most sacred thing that you can have. So how do we change? Because connection will be the most sacred thing. How are we going to be able to connect if you don't know how to connect? Because you can't lie yourself, or you can't word yourself, or you can't buy yourself connection. Connection is a sacred currency that you can't manipulate. It is a vibration that is pure of heart. And we're coming to a world where connection will be what people are seeking for. I think I said this on Facebook in 2019, that connection will be the most valuable currency in our world. And I'm not talking about just in relationships, but in business. If you're going to try to leverage your business and grow your business and you don't know how to connect with people, you're going to have a hard time. If you want to be in a relationship with a woman in these next 20, the 23rd, the 24th century, you're gonna really need to know how to connect. You're gonna need more than your pocket. You're gonna need more than your eloquent words. You're gonna need more than even how you look. And that's the same thing with women. Women won't be able to get through this change that we're going through merely by how they look. It's not it's not going to happen. You have to have something inside. You have to have an ability to really dive into your feminine energy. But you're not diving into your feminine energy because a man tells you to do that. It is who you are. It's what you're embodying. It's who you see yourself as. It is okay to be feminine. It's okay. And if you're with someone that can't allow you to be feminine without exploitation, they're not your person. And that's the power of loving who you are and understanding who you are and why you're so magnificent and why you're so beautiful inside and out. In a few days, I'm going to talk about the Black woman effect. You've been seeing on a lot of my posts about it. The Black woman effect is powerful, it's sacred, and I look forward to talking to you about it in the next coming days. Have a good day.